with the NBC Sports Group.
Last night in the race for the Central, the Sox started Game 2 in the same fashion they ended Game 1 with the long ball, as Dwayne Wise and Gordon Beckham both went deep early in the game. But then the iron fist came down on Sox hitters as Detroit's Doug Fister simply became unhittable. The Motor City Sluggers gave the Sox a little taste of their own medicine in the fifth with home runs by Austin Jackson and Miguel Cabrera to take the lead. The Sox would then make a charge late in the game, but Benoit and Valverde seal the deal with a 5-3 Tigers win. The division lead is now at 2, and Game 3 begins next. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, A.J. Pierzynski and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and the second-place Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 3 of this big four-game set. As you know, we split the first two. We won the opener 6-1 with some home runs. Then last night, they beat us 5-3 with some home runs. So the Sox now 2 games in front of Detroit. And this evening, Gavin Floyd.
Gavin Floyd comes back after almost a 2-week layoff. And I talked to Don Cooper about him. He doesn't know what to expect, but he said if he could get 5 good innings, he would be ecstatic, and anything better than that would be just gravy. He's 9-9 this year. His ERA is in the mid-4s. Lifetime, however, 7-2 against the Tigers, so he's thrown very well against this team. And if the curveball is working today, he'll get his 5 and maybe a little bit more than that. Max Scherzer goes to the mound for the Tigers. He's 15-6 lifetime against our ball club. He's 4-4, but his ERA is in the mid-2s. Now this year he's got 215 strikeouts at 170 innings. He's thrown the ball unbelievably well. Last time we saw him in Detroit, he was close to unhittable. Hopefully tonight he won't get that changeup over the plate, and if he doesn't, he'll be vulnerable. So let's see if we can get the third game of the series.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox. That's me. White Sox.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all, Ford. Drive one. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And by Toyota, with great specials on fuel-efficient vehicles. Right now, you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer.
the third in a 4-game series, ready to kick off between the Tigers, who are in second place by a couple of games, and our Sox. Time for the starting Tiger lineup. Jim Leland puts on the field. Jackson leading off. He's had good luck with Floyd. Then it's Dirks, Cabrera, Fielder, Young, Bosch, Peralta, Avila, and Infante at second, hitting 9th. The defense and how they'll line up behind Gavin Floyd. Diaz, Wise, and Rios in the outfield, with Youkilis, Ramirez, Hudson, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Pierzynski with the nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Gavin Floyd. He's on for the first time in a couple of weeks. As you can see, the record 9-9, the ERA a little above 4.5. Left-handers have really hurt him this year, whereas he's gotten the right-handers out. And the oddity is the two best hitters against him in this lineup are both right-handed, and that's Jackson and Peralta. So the umpires for the game tonight. Todd Tishner behind the plate. Tony Randazzo is at first. Bob Davidson is at second. And the crew chief, Brian Gorman, is at third. So hopefully that sore elbow will not plague Gavin Floyd. He'll be able to get that curveball over the plate early and try to neutralize some of these hitters. Brendan Bosch, by the way, is 0 for 17 against Gavin Floyd, yet in the starting lineup here tonight. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. At 82 degrees, we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us. Austin Jackson gets set to lead it off against our 6'6", 235-pound right-hander, and the first pitch of the ball game is taken for a ball. Jackson comes in at 305, 14 homers and 55 knocked in. And there's a line drive into right field, so good speed aboard.
Well, Jackson continues to do what he's done in his head-to-head matchup with Gavin Floyd, and that's get a base hit. That fastball right down the middle. The BMO Harris Bank pit tracks will show you that you're not going to have much luck if you throw it there.
Well, he's 8 for 20 lifetime off Gavin. And in this series, he's 4 for 7 with a big 2-run homer last night.
He's become quite a player since getting him out of the New York Yankee organization.
He's 11 up and 8 down in stolen bases as Dirk swings and fouls that one back. He was 2 for 4 last night. Dirk's hitting at .316, 6 homers and 30 knocked in.
And surprisingly, he's only grounded into 3 double plays this year and 244 at bats. So he's not a full-time player, but he will start against most or all of the right-handers.
Tigers come in hitting at .267 as a club with a 3.83 team ERA. Tigers 31 and 39 on the road and 43 and 28 at home.
Gene Lamont, former skipper of our Sox, now the third base coach, longtime third base coach of the Tigers, going through his set of signs.
He gone. Good hook. 1 out.
Good hook and good news for Gavin. First curveball, a dandy when you're ahead of the hitter. AJ does a nice job of making sure this ball doesn't get away. And he gets a tough left-hand hitter.
And here's a tough right-handed hitter, Miguel Cabrera, hitting at .325, 36 homers and 117 knocked in. Fielder on deck, and here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps and 400 straightaway center.
Cabrera's grounded into 2 double plays this series so far, and he's grounded into 27 of them this year.
The throw. They miss him. That'll be a base hit.
Well, that's the only play, and Alexei knew it. He had no chance with the speed of Jackson to get him at first base, and your only hope was the jump pass and try to cut down Cabrera at first. This is really a heads-up play. As you can see, Jackson standing on the bag, and the swipe tag just misses Cabrera. I mean, they came an eyelash from a spectacular play.
So 2 on, 1 out, and here's Fielder. Hitting at .306, 25 homers, 95 knocked in. Fastball strike.
Fielder's had a very quiet series. And the reason is that when they've thrown the fastball inside, they've thrown it in off the plate. And when they go to get him, they've been getting him with slow stuff down in the dirt and good fastballs away. He has, however, terrorized right-handers this year.
He's 2 for 7 lifetime off Gavin. 0 for 9 in the series as the count evens at 1.
Tom Brookins over there talking with Cabrera at first base.
One and 2.
You get that one away. And if you talk to Jim Leland, he'll tell you that despite the fact that Cabrera has bad ankles and that he's a big man, he's one of their smartest base runners.
Outfield bunch just a bit. Tried to backdoor him right there and missed way out. So 2 and 2.
Gavin wants to make sure that he gives a couple of looks to second base with Jackson out there. Alexei is jockeying in behind him as they're playing Fielder as a dead pull hitter in the infield, with Alexei playing up the middle.
He gone. Hook. 2 down.
Soft stuff down and in. And Fielder swings over the top. So 2 hits, 2 strikeouts.
And here is Delman Young. Young, 9 for 36 with a homer and 6 RBIs lifetime off Gavin. Young 1 for 9 in the series. Takes first pitch strike. Jackson at second, Cabrera at first. Down to Uke. Over to Hudson. Hudson getting all over Cabrera again. They stayed at it all last night. Meanwhile, after a half inning of play, it's Detroit nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
With De Acha leading off, and it's Youkilis, Wise in the 3 spot, Konerko, Rios, Pierzynski, Ramirez, who's got a 9-game hitting streak, with Johnson and Hudson rounding it out. The defense behind Scherzer. Dirks, Jackson, and Bosch in the outfield with Cabrera, Peralta, Infante, and Fielder. Alex Avila behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Max Scherzer, who's 15-6, ERA 3.85, 213 strikeouts and 117 2/3 innings. Just an amazing year for the hard-throwing right-hander who does have a great changeup.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. And we've got our work cut out for us tonight. He's 7-1 in his last 10 starts. You better have an idea of what you're trying to do with this guy.
I'm surprised that missed him.
I don't see how it did.
Tries to throw it low and in. And only the quick feet of De Acha saved him an ankle burger.
Chops that one foul.
Scherzer came over from the Arizona Diamondbacks, along with Daniel Schlereth, in exchange for Edwin Jackson and Ian Kennedy.
That one at 95, so 1 out.
He just heats him up with a fastball, puts it in a perfect spot. And when you have a Major League plus fastball, plus breaking ball, and plus changeup, you're going to be tough to deal with, especially if you're getting them over the plate.
Well, the last few months, especially the last 2 months, he's probably been the best pitcher in baseball. He and Gio Gonzalez.
No doubt. Both of them do it a different way. Gio with that big, sharp-breaking curveball, and Scherzer, one of the hardest throwers in all of baseball consistently.
Uke hitting at 234, 0 for 7 in the series, and lifetime against Scherzer 3 for 14. That one at 96. Sox come in hitting at 256 with a 4.09 ERA. Sox 42-30 at home, 34-35 on the road. Pops him up. Omar. And right now, let's check out our Farmers Insurance picks to click. Command Joe, our director and crew, went with Wise. Steve's going with AJ and Terry Hanley. Mike Williams. Eric, all the good guys out at Bolingbrook. And at Hawthorne Woods, we're going to go with Dan Johnson. Here's D. Wise hitting at 277, 8 homers and 23 knocked in.
First pitch he saw last night was middle in, and he hit it out of the ballpark. So Scherzer stays away with the first pitch.
How long has it been since you've heard the expression? Or you could even say it was a term in its own time zone. In a pregame meeting, all right, guys, now listen, this guy likes to get it and throw it. I want you to step out on him almost every pitch. How long has it been since you've heard that?
Well, a long time, because what you do is try to disrupt his rhythm. That's what the coach used to tell you.
Exactly.
Disrupt his rhythm.
Don't let him get in his rhythm.
Right.
Take him out of it.
Like to get the ball. That's what happened with Maddox and every one of the catchers. He said to a catcher, as soon as you catch the baseball, you get it back to me as quickly as you possibly can, because I want to throw it as quickly as I can.
Well, they had a lot of guys like that. Bob Gibson was like that. They had a rookie catcher, but the Cardinals wanted to go out and say something to Gibson. Gibson had the ball in his glove. He got about halfway, and Gibson said, "Get back there." As he turned around, he hit him right in the butt with it. Oh, look at this shank. You talking about a duck snort. The Ducks playing over there, so we'll take it. Good speed aboard. He's 16 for 17 in stolen bases.
That one at 97. An inside-out swing. And a thing of beauty if it's your boys hitting it.
That's a Tom Paciorek special right there.
Just take it the opposite way and loop it.
Yeah, he did that over to the right field. A whipperoo.
That aggravates the pitcher a lot.
Oh, you make
a good pitch. You get in on the guy. He doesn't get any part of the bat on except a little bit. Base hit.
So here's Paulie. Paulie at 308, 22, and 66. 7 for 27 with a couple of homers lifetime off Scherzer.
One of the things that we have failed to do during this recent run is score a whole lot without hitting the ball out of the ballpark. To do that, you're going to have to run some.
There he goes. Got him. And that'll retire the side after 1, no score.
Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
And the big hurt Frank Thomas is doing a Twitter takeover for CSN tonight. Talk, get insights, and interact with the big hurt by following him at White Sox Talk CSN. Brennan Bosch will be the hitter. Comes in at 244, 12 homers and 52 knocked in. Some other scores of note. Bottom of the third in Baltimore. In a first place tie with the Yankees. Orioles were tied at 2 with Tampa Bay. The Yankees on the other side of that ledger, leading 3-0 at Fenway. That's in the bottom of the fourth. Bosch, as Steve told you, 0 for 17 lifetime off Gavin.
Well, Jim Leyland had a dilemma, and that was Ryan Rayburn still hasn't recovered from a little bit of a hamstring problem that he's had. he didn't feel he was running 100%. So although Rayburn hits well in this ballpark and he felt might do a bit better, he thought Bosch could run into one, and he knows he's entirely healthy, so that was his choice.
Well, we could play at Comerica Park, U.S. Cellular Field. We could play at O'Hare or Midway. And Ryan Rayburn's going to hit us.
That's one of the reasons why we catch a break.
That's right.
With his bad leg.
Two and two the count. Oh for 18.
Three strikeouts for Gavin. As that one, he breaks down and in. That wasn't his big curveball. That was his little slider. And it was equally as effective.
So here's Peralta hitting at .252, 11 homers and 58 driven in. Oh, nice pick right there. In between, huh? Two down.
A one pitch out when you're making your first start in a couple of weeks is always desirable. So after a fairly long first inning with featured a couple of strikeouts and a couple of base hits, he'd love to get him out 1-2-3 here in the second.
Now here's Alex. Bailey hitting at .243, 8 homers and 40 driven in. He's 1 for 4 in the series with an RBI. How's that back? Oh, and 2 the count.
Vila had a big hit last night in the 8th inning. Drove in a run.
That was a big hit he got. He gone. Hook. 1-2-3 inning. And after an inning and a half, nada.
American League wildcard standings. You see the Athletics, Yankees, and Orioles, depending on the outcome of tonight's game. Then the Rays 2 back, the Angels 2.5, and the Tigers 5 back. So it becomes painfully obvious to both of these teams that they better win the Central or they're most likely going home. And that's why this game tonight is of critical importance to both teams.
.21 games remaining, counting this one. As here is Paulie. Paulie lately has just not been able to cover that fastball like he can when he's healthy.
Well, against this guy, you got to get it started and you got to anticipate it, because he throws too hard if you don't.
Well, as we all know, when Paulie's healthy, if those hands are good and that wrist is good, you cannot shoot a 30-30 by him.
But this is the time of year where, number one, you're probably using a bat that's a little lighter than you've been using most of the year.
A lot of guys do. They'll go down and out sometimes too.
I was looking at all of the bats, and on the handle they have both the length and the weight. Be surprised how many 31.5 ounce bats, 34 inches, sometimes 32 ounces. I saw one at 33, one at 34, and that was about it.
Got him. Well, Paulie's, that bat he's got right there is 31.6 ounces.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of times what hitters go too late. You get at the point where you're over 500 at bats. You've been through really hot weather. You've had a few injuries, and it's tough to get the real big bat through the zone.
Well, I used probably the heaviest bat in the American League. I used anywhere from 35 to 40 ounces. And when you got to September, that 35 saw a lot of action. Rios hitting at .293, 23 homers, 85 knocked in. One and one to count.
BMO Harris Bank pitch tracks will show you a little slider, and Scherzer starting to get some depth on it. It starts to go down now.
Watch out.
That's been really the big difference, because he always threw a slider, but it went straight across. Now he's getting depth on it, and along with that changeup that he hasn't thrown very much in the early going, which we will see as he moves along, he can be exceptionally tough to deal with.
Well, in essence, he's a 5-pitch pitcher. And when you get a 5-pitch pitcher out there who tops out at about 98,
yeah,
and he gets them all over, you're in trouble.
Well, he won't show you 97, 98 usually.
The highest he's shown tonight was 96.
He's got that in his back pocket, a lot like Verlander. I think he's probably learned something from Verlander, where you use what velocity you need given the situation, but you still have some in reserve when you really get in trouble.
Drop down with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 out.
In the meantime, through 2 innings, Gavin Floyd has been very impressive. Getting his curve, getting his slider over. And hopefully the second time through, that stuff will get a little bit better. So far, the big curveball has not been needed, really. He'll get the confidence. If his elbow is feeling good, that curveball will get better as he moves along.
Starts him off with a changeup. most of the great hitters that I've talked to over a half a century in this game, they try to eliminate one pitch from the guy's repertoire. And you might say, well, how do you do that? And the way a lot of those guys did it was they did it by moving around in the box, which that's the lost art now. So we can forget about that method there. But a lot of guys still try to eliminate one pitch in their own fashion. Has that got a piece of Avila? Yeah, well, this guy absolutely just takes a beating against us.
That got a huge piece of him. Feigner's going to come out. He was hit in the head last night on a backswing by Dwayne Wise. AJ catches him right off the left wrist. I'm not sure there's any way to protect yourself from something like that.
There's not. AJ has done this to Avila 4 or 5 times this year.
They'll take a look at it, figure out if there's any damage done. Probably ask him to squeeze his hand, see how much strength he has in it.
But getting back to trying to eliminate a pitcher's pitch from him, most of the time you're talking about a guy who's a 3-pitch pitcher. And a lot of times in that time frame it was sinker, slider, curve. So it's easier to do that when you got 3. But you got a guy like Scherzer who's got 5 pitches.
It's tough to eliminate. You can say to yourself, well, I won't swing at anything breaking. But then he throws you a curveball, a slider, and before you know it, you're 0-2. Then what are you going to do?
Well, that's the whole thing with him. Instead of trying to eliminate a pitch, you better try to eliminate a zone.
Yeah,
you better zone him, and you better give him 2/3 of that plate. And if he gets 2/3 of that plate and he hits his spots out there, then you're going to grab some bench. But you got to be ready and dangerous when he gets that pitch inside that 1/3 that you're looking at.
Well, this is going to be a test for Avila if there is any soreness in that wrist, because there's not a whole lot of guys with as much movement as Scherzer that throws as hard as Scherzer. So if there's anything wrong with the wrist, we'll know about it in an inning or so.
Two out and the 1-2 pitch. 1-2-3 inning. He has 3 strikeouts. We'll go to the 3rd. No score.
Making some friends, guys. How are you enjoying the game so far?
Great time. Amazing. Best time. Great weather.
Excellent weather. Well, it's kind of like a playoff atmosphere here right now. Do you agree?
Yes, pennant race. We're going to win it all.
Every single pitch matters. It's great.
What's it going to take for the White Sox to beat the Tigers tonight and Max Scherzer?
Put some hits together. Just lots of hits, one after another.
Put some hits together. You heard it. All right, Hawk and Stoney, back to you guys.
All right, Suzanne. As we get set to go to the top of the third inning, Omar Infante will lead it off.
Well, we'll tell our boys to put some hits together because right now it's not working, but they'll get on it.
It's a lot easier said than done.
Yes.
One and one to count.
Infante was putting together a very good season. And I think Detroit is surprised that he's made 7 errors in that Tiger uniform, 6 of them at second base.
One down. Got to bring up Austin Jackson, who singled sharply into right field. One of the big keys to this ball club, Austin Jackson.
He has been most of this year.
Well, they've got probably the best 1-2 punch. Certainly in this league. I don't know about the National League, but certainly in this league. But outside of that, that 1-2 punch has got to have some other help.
Well, Jackson is second on the team in runs scored. He's one behind Cabrera. He's got 89. Cabrera has 90. Jackson a big figure last night in the 5th inning, a 2-run homer that tied it up.
Where he really magnifies himself as the element of success for this ball club is with that level.
He doesn't have the greatest outfielders left and right, so he's got to really go get them, and he's got a huge outfield in Detroit. Now this one, top of the zone, could have gone either way. AJ tried to subtly bring it back in the zone to make it look better, but didn't get the benefit of the call.
And the payoff pitch. D-Wise, 2 down. Yeah, when you've got that center field at Comerica Park and you don't have 2 speedsters or 1 even on either side of you, you're going to lose some weight.
Well, at 420 to center field with the size of those alleys, I mean, it's a great triples park, but he'll turn doubles into singles all day long.
Well, he goes back for the ball, and he runs to the spot as well as anybody. Dirk struck out. Good curveball.
You just hate to put yourself in a position where Dirks can look for a fastball because he's been a pretty good hitter. And
well, he's put himself in that position. Now, he's a tough out.
Unlike most guys, he can hit the ball up. He missed one there as Gavin took a little something off. He threw it down the middle, but it wasn't location, it was velocity that fooled Dirks.
Took something off of that one. 2-2. Cabrera on deck.
What Gavin is doing, I like, and it's not something he usually does, but he's working very quickly tonight.
Would you see the way that AJ worked in town in game 1? Got it to him, gave it to him, let's go. Work fast.
There's a look at our young left-hander, Jose Quintana, who pitched just an outstanding game into the 8th inning in the opener of the series.
He gone. Changeup. That is 8 in a row retired by Gavin.
Was the last Tigers lefty with 200 strikeouts in a season. So you think about that for a bit. We'll get back to you a little later in the game with the answer.
It'll be Alexei, Dan Johnson, Orlando Hudson. Ate him up, jammed him. Little Doc Edwards shot. 1 pitch, 1 out. And you can watch the game in luxury from behind home plate in the Gold Coast Tickets Club here at US Cellular Field. Gold Coast Tickets, you got a guy. Says Sharon. Congratulations. Good folks.
With Adam Dunn still not able to play, Robin decided that he wanted a little left-handed power in the lineup. Enter Dan Johnson.
Two and 0. And 3 for 7 since being called up. Takes it right there. Fouls that back, and one will send out a big shout out. Congratulations to Danielle and Mike Corrigan, proud parents of Carter Michael, born yesterday, 6 pounds 7 ounces. Everybody's doing great, so congratulations to Danielle and Mike. Full count.
Orlando Hudson in the on-deck circle. Another left-handed bat in the lineup against Scherzer.
Chops that one over into the Tiger dugout. All 4-base hit. How's that back? We only have one hit if you're just tuning in. That was the prototype, the poster child for a duck snort by Dwayne Wise. That one at 97.
And that one he reached back, got a little something extra.
And he got a great spot, too.
Good movement, put it right on the outside corner. You can see the movement. And Johnson with an uppercut swing. Just couldn't get to it.
So here's Cabrera's buddy. Orlando 4 for 14 lifetime off Scherzer. And takes strike one.
Maybe he'll try to bunt on the big guy at third. Although Cabrera is in right at the cut of the grass and moving forward with the pitch. Nope, not this time.
That's up high. Yeah, the idea of a hitter trying to upset the pitcher, that started phasing out in the mid to late 70s. Prior to that, it was a little bit different. Just got a piece of it. Prior to that, you had hitters yelling at pitchers. You had pitchers yelling at hitters.
And you'd had hitters like Mike Hargrove, former major league manager and one of the slowest hitters in history, put a foot in the batter's box and take seemingly a month to get set.
Well, that's the reason they call him the human rain delay.
Wow.
Fouls that back. I recall Rick Burleson was facing Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan, first 2 times up, threw him 6 fastballs and blew him away. Comes to the plate the third time, throws him 2 fastballs. He's 0-2, then throws that Jim Dandy hook he's got, that curveball. Burleson goes back to the dugout saying, "Challenge somebody."
Yeah, that's what he needed, was a little more incentive to throw you a fastball.
That's gone now. The 2-2. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Tigers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for us.
Orlando an all-star twice, in 07 with the Diamondbacks, in 09 with the Dodgers. 4 injuries really took a lot away from him. He was a terrific second baseman and a good offensive player from both sides of the plate.
That one at 96. 5 strikeouts now for Scherzer, and we'll go to the 4th.
Bell's Tacos from Taco Bell.
Cabrera, Fielder, and Young here in the top of the 4th inning. No score. If you're just tuning in.
Second time through the order, and it shapes up as a tough inning as Gavin has to go right through the heart of a pretty good order that lately has not been getting a whole lot done.
Good curveball. And the count 0-2.
Gavin using both his curveball and his cutter or slider, whatever he'd like to call it. And they've both been around the plate enough.
That's low. Bottom of the 5th in Baltimore, tied at 2 with Tampa Bay. Texas shutting out Cleveland 3-0. Down in Arlington, that's in the bottom of the 3rd. Later on, a big game, Oakland at the Big A in Anaheim. Couple of finals. San Diego beat the Cardinals 3-2. Phillies over Miami 3-1. Phillies back over the 500 mark now at 72 and 71.
Well, this year Cabrera's been good against everybody, but especially good against our team. Leading off an inning, this becomes a very big pitch for Gavin.
He gone. Chase ball 4.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's Gavin Floyd striking out just about everybody in sight, and he's doing it with all of his pitches. There's a few curveballs, a slider, another hook, yet another hook, and this time a slider low and away, and Cabrera should be standing at first, but he swung at ball 4.
Good curveball. The Prince struck out swinging on a good curveball from Gavin. Chases that high fastball up.
Well, I think that time Prince made a decision. He had seen so many curves and sliders. He decided if he saw a fastball, he was going to take a hack at it, regardless of where it was. And that ball was way out of the zone.
Now that's one reason that we are 5-11 against the Tigers this year. It's Cabrera hitting .344 against us this year. Fielder hitting .333. Jackson hitting .361, and he's driven in more runs against us this year than anybody on the Tigers. So that set it up for Delman Young, because that's a high pop-up, playable. Orlando takes charge. 2 down. That's a major league pop-up there.
Well, there's a lot of guys that want their pitcher to just get out of the way. The way we were taught was the pitcher is a traffic cop. As soon as he locates where the ball is, he's going to tell the man who he thinks should take it to take it. In this case, Hudson finally moves around Paulie and decides to catch one that was up there for a while.
Young fouls it back.
You just keep it up there all night long, and Delman Young, who had 8 runs batted in Detroit against our ball club, is not going to hurt you at all. High fastballs. Everything's been up high. That's why he has 1 hit, and the 1 hit he has in the series was down, actually.
His first at bat.
Yep.
was way ahead of him. Now a full count. He gone. That is 11 in a row retired for Gavin. He has 7 strikeouts.
It was. Who was the last Tigers lefty with 200 strikeouts in a season? And the answer, Mickey Lolich in 1974. And the American League leaders in strikeouts, Scherzer #1, Verlander #2. Verlander will have his opportunity tomorrow night in the finale of this 4-game series. And both pitchers tonight have dominated to this point. There's only 3 hits combined and lots of strikeouts on both sides of the equation.
And only one solid hit. That was the leadoff man, Austin Jackson.
He hasn't tried to get it down as he tells Cabrera to back up some, so I have some room to bunt.
To the count. Dazen struck out.
Scherzer's done that a few times tonight. He doesn't seem to have real good command on the inside part of the plate to the left-hand hitters. He can throw his slider in there, but can't throw his fastball for a strike, or hasn't to this point, inside. Well, that was the first straight change that we've seen. And it was in a perfect spot. Alejandro did a nice job of staying alive.
Two and two to Alejandro. And that's going foul. And State Farm and our White Sox charities are proud to present the Go to Bat Award to outstanding volunteers throughout the 2012 baseball season.
On this foul ball, what Scherzer has to do is once he sees it go foul, he's got to touch the baseball. Because by letting it roll like that, it might go fair, and Piazza might be able to beat it.
Full count. Scherzer has faced the minimum through the first three. Pops him up. Austin Jackson.
And there was an example of throwing anything but a fastball in a situation that usually calls for a fastball. That was his changeup. His changeup is 88 miles an hour, 87 sometimes, which is usually a fastball for most guys. But for Scherzer, that's about 8 miles an hour difference between that and his good fastball.
Here's Youk. Youk popped up to Infante. But you're not going to beat this guy on his breaking stuff. Not unless he hangs. You got to, you get a guy like this, you just can't try to, you got to be dangerous, and that's it. And there's a guy that's going tomorrow against our Chris Sale.
Well, we just have to hope that he's going for a split in the series.
That ball hit way back. Dirks looks up. He hung it. He heard it. It is 1-0. Good guys. Yeah.
You got a changeup. It was 87 miles an hour, and it was right down the middle. And he didn't miss it. 17th home run, 53rd driven in. Our Ford home run replay. And that ball just kind of sat there on a tee, and he crushed it.
So here is Wise. He had a little duck snort. First in wins. Chops that one foul.
Well, for Scherzer, that's the 23rd home run he's given up in 174 innings. And that leads his team by a fairly substantial margin.
Stay with him. The 1-2 pitch. And it's full. That fastball high and wide at 97. Paulie on deck. Change up. 2 down. And of course, with that home run by Youkilis, the Alex Nellius family will donate $100 for every White Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 187. So $18,700 donated by Alex Nellius in loving memory of Ursula. Paulie struck out his first trip.
Paulie says it hit him. Todd Tifner said it didn't. Runs his fastball inside. Can't really tell from that angle, but deciding vote is a man behind the plate.
Well, if it hit him, it just had to absolutely just tip the outside of that glove. Because if it got him right there, you would have known it.
Yep, that's probably true.
The 1-1. Two out, and the 1-2 delivery. Bottom of the sixth in Fenway. Yankees leading Red Sox 3-1. He did not go. Full count to Konerko.
Every pitch this inning on a full count has been thrown 87 or 88 miles an hour.
And once again the payoff. That ball hit hard down into the corner. So he's going to be held to a single as Dirks gets to it. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
At that time, he tried to heat him up inside. And after the off-speed pitch, Wally undoubtedly looking for the heat. And he gets around on it and hits it on the sweet spot. And he hits it so hard that Dirks is able to get to it and get it back in. And even though it gets away, Wally can't advance.
So here's Alex. He popped up foul ground to Fielder. That fastball at 95. Alex now 3 for 23. Lifetime against Scherzer. Scherzer on that pitch, Larry, he was throwing a dart. Slider.
He's got a good one.
The best ones are just about like that.
Well, that's all they were designed for.
That's it.
Is that little bitty movement, but guys have gotten more and more movement on them, and that's why they're having a lot of elbow problems. Nice stop by Avila that time. That one could have easily have gotten by. Paulie could have trotted in the second base. That's a slider. Avila able to knock it down and keep it in front of it.
Takes it up. Count evens at 2 to Rios. AJ on deck.
A lot of pitches this inning for Scherzer, as he sailed through the first 3, but the second time through the order has not been quite as easy for him.
Another little pop-up the fielder is going to get. And that'll retire the side, but the home run by Kevin Youkilis, his 17th. Sox lead at 1-0.
There's a look at the skipper, Robin Ventura, and on this date he made his major league debut in Baltimore, September 12th, 1989. He was 1 for 4 with a run batted in. Started a very long and very productive career that's led him to the dugout as a manager of the Chicago White Sox.
It's the top of the 5th inning. A run on 3 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for their guys. It'll be Bosch, Peralta, and Avila. First pitch strike. Bosch struck out swinging at a slider down and in. Curveball low.
We just have to hope that the dominance of Gavin Floyd in the entire career of Brendan Bosch continues.
Ball hit hard by Youkilis. That's his first hit in 19 at-bats off Gavin. Meanwhile, the leadoff man aboard.
This ball an off-speed pitch, and one hop skips right over the glove of Youkilis. He came right off the grass. He probably wasn't expecting the high hop. And he's aboard.
There's Peralta. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Alexei. Takes that fastball up high.
Peralta's given Gavin some problems. Not many of these Tigers have, as he's 7-2 lifetime against them, and throwing a gem here so far through 4.
Two balls, no strikes.
AJ going out now to talk with Gavin, wanting him to follow through some more. He's left a couple of pitches up. Last one a breaking ball that he didn't get much on. Jim Leyland, longtime skipper of the Tigers.
Gosh, just a decent lead. Out and around that one.
Well, if he can get Peralta to try to pull an outside pitch, this is a perfect guy for 2, because Peralta, a pretty good hitter and a dependable, if not spectacular, shortstop. Can't run very well. He has grounded into 16 double plays. However, in 131 games, he's only made 5 errors at shortstop.
Three and 1. No walks, Gavin.
If he can keep this ball on the outside corner, you might see that ground ball to the left side. AJ wanted it there. He called the fastball away. Gavin missed his spot by plenty, and Don Cooper has to worry a little bit about Gavin Floyd at this point. And so he's going to wait till AJ walks out there. Then Coop probably is going to walk out there as the bullpen starts to work.
Now, the first walk issued by Floyd has put him in a big jam. 2 on, nobody out. And that'll bring up Avila.
And Coop wants to make sure that the pen gets good and loose. I think it's Hector Santiago out there.
And while Coop goes out, a reminder, Bacardi at the Park is now open for all football games. Reserve your table or group to watch football Thursday night through Monday night with great food and drink specials. There's free parking for all football games, including Bears home games when the Sox are away. So check out BacardiAtThePark.com for game listings and how to book your next party. Avila to plate, Infante on deck.
Another good man for 2 if you can get him to try to roll over on something away.
So the corner's in close. And he squares the bunt.
And that one bunted right off of Todd Tishner. Well, catchers and umpires really dislike guys who can't bunt, because when they foul it off, it's going right back and getting him. AJ has it go right between his legs and right off the ankle of Tishner.
And he moves up in the box. And there's a good bunt. A good bunt. So the sacrifice, 5-4.
Well, the second sacrifice this year by Avila, but he looks like he does it regularly. That time forcing Uke to only 1 play. And that was to first. And now Alexei looking into the dugout to figure out what Robin wants to do. And he's going to play the infield not quite in. And so far, they're not all the way back.
Fonte grounded out to Alexei.
Infante a terrific butter.
And this game is tied at 1. So that walk pushes Bosch to second. The sacrifice bunt. And now Peralta at third.
15th run batted in for Infante.
Ball gets away, and oh, boy, did we catch a break.
Well, that's a very bad base running play by Peralta, because it got away from AJ far enough where there was no chance. If he breaks on the ball, you cannot get him at the plate. Tremendous break. Floyd throws a breaking ball. Peralta doesn't read it. Once you stop and start, then you can forget about it, especially with his speed.
It is 2-1.
That's an off-speed pitch that he got up in the zone to a man who has hurt him most of his career. Jackson, 66 driven in, and that's going to be it for Gavin Floyd. As Jackson takes it through the left side. Just a 4th hit given up, the 2nd run, and the night will be over for Gavin Floyd, who was brilliant through 4 and ran into a buzzsaw here in the 5th.
Well, he pitched better than we could have hoped coming out for 2 weeks on that DL. So Gavin departs. Santiago comes on, and we'll be back.
Santiago comes in with a 3-1 record, an ERA just below 3.5. He started a big ball game and won it, then returned to the bullpen. So he comes on with Jackson at first, trailing by a run.
Ball 1 to Dirks. Dirks 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Santiago's 39th appearance. He has 2 starts this year.
Here's a strike. Dirks has faced Santiago twice. He has a hit, and it was a homer.
We hate to walk this guy to get to the next guy. Looks like Robin's got a right-hander up in the pen in case he doesn't get Dirks.
Full count with 2 out. Grosso.
Unfortunately, that one missed. It's our Nissan pitch tracks. Watch it. It's wide. Now you have to deal with Cabrera. Apparently, he's going with Santiago against Cabrera.
Cabrera has a midfield single and a strikeout. 3-2 slider got him. That was last inning. Cabrera's faced Hector twice, and he's 0 for 2. Screwball, and it's high and wide. Couldn't pull the trigger on it. Another fastball right there. That one at 94.
First one was up and away. This one down and in. Perfect pitch. And Cabrera leaning out away from it.
Came at him at 95.
Two out runners in scoring position. There can't be too many better averages in baseball. 439, 3 home runs, 24 driven in. Pretty impressive statistic among a lot of impressive statistics for the big man.
Look at that. He takes that screwball and beats it in, so they're going to wave him home, and he will score.
And that's why he has those kind of numbers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, because on a pitch he was fooled. He took about a half swing and couldn't have rolled it in a better spot.
Well, I'll guarantee he told somebody in that dugout that I'm going to hit that screwball in the right field for a base hit, because he had 3 or 4 guys that came up to the top step and just he was looking at them and pointing to them.
118 runs batted in.
So the base on balls again has jumped up and bit us very hard. very, very hard. We've walked 2 this inning, setting up a 3-run top of the 5th. Fielders 2 for 2. Off Santiago. Well, based on balls has just killed us, especially the last month.
Well, you bring a left-hander in to get Dirks. Whether he gets a hit or not, you can't walk him because the best run producer in our league is coming up next.
Three 5-0 for them, 1-3-0 for us. In a huge game. That's a shame. The 2 walks have absolutely just hurt very much. We're halfway home, trailing 3-1. Marchinowski. We trail it now 3-1.
Time to get to work with the bottom part of the order against Scherzer. He was sitting on the bench for quite some time. That was a very long top of the 5th inning. Hopefully it affects his control.
AJ is 0 for 1 on a strikeout. AJ saying, you don't give us that pitch.
Well, the first pitch was there, and the second pitch was questionable. So it kind of evens things out.
Good play by Infante. So AJ now 0 for 2. He was 0 for 4 last night and hit it right on the money 3 times.
He hit that ball hard. And Infante made a very good play on a tough hop.
Here's Alexei. He popped up to Infante.
He was thinking about laying it down. He had Cabrera charging, but pulled the bat back and took one inside.
Takes the bunt, takes the strike. Chopper foul.
Scherzer originally drafted by St. Louis when he was a youngster, 43rd round in June 2003. Wisely, he didn't sign. Then he was selected by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the first round, the 11th pick overall in 2006. That was scouting director Mike Rizzo's last #1 pick when he worked for the Diamondbacks. Things have worked out for Mr. Rizzo. His Washington Nationals have the best record in baseball at 88-54.
There's a hard shot foul. 2-2. Scherzer has heterochromia. That's different colored eyes. His right eye is blue, left eye is brown. Jammed him right there. Might be the first guy I've ever heard of in the big leagues. That has popped up. So 2 out. Scherzer might be the first guy I've ever heard of in the big leagues named after a cat.
Max the cat?
Max the cat. It was named after a stray cat that his father found during his time at Missouri. So here is Johnson. Dan struck out. Saw a lot of pitches in that at bat. I was just thinking in the break there that we went back over the last, say, 15 to 20 losses that we've incurred. Probably 85 to 90%. The walk has been a key element in the loss.
Well, you go in streaks where sometimes you can walk a lot of people and it doesn't seem to affect you. Other times, as the streak that we're in now, every walk seems to be devastating. Keeps an inning alive or rolls over to a hitter you don't want to face. And that's what's been going on here. 90 pitches. And Scherzer's not through 5 yet.
The 1-2.
Kind of amazing to be at this pitch count, which is high. I know he's fanned 5, but he's only given up 3 hits and he hasn't walked anybody. Usually when you're over 90 pitches and you're not through 5, you get 3 or 4 walks on your slate.
There's a base hit. Attaboy, Dan. Let's get some started with 2 out. Come on, Orlando. Hudson also struck out his first trip.
That was a slider. It was down. Left-handers usually like it there. And perfectly hit between Fielder, who had no chance, and Infante, who couldn't get over quickly enough.
Now field straight up. About equidistant. Starts him off with a changeup. 3-5-0 for their guys. 1-4-0 for our guys. Our one run a homer by Youk.
With this amount of pitches, they most likely will have to go to the bullpen quicker than Jim Leyland would have wanted, especially if Orlando can get on.
Another changeup.
That's a pitch we really didn't see much of for the better part of the first 3 innings. Second time through the order, we've seen it a lot.
And that fastball, it's over near left side. Mezzanine. Taking some other scores. Texas leading Cleveland 5-2. That's the bottom of the 5th down in Arlington. Beltre has homered in that game. That's his 13th homer in the last 20 games.
Well, he's some player. That was one of the better additions in all of baseball to any ball club.
Josh Hamilton also has homered. That's number 41 for him. Two out, 1 on, and the 2-2 pitch.
With that fastball right in on Orlando's hands, and he was able to stay alive. But they're seeing a steady diet of changeups. This is a tough one to handle. But he couldn't get it by him.
Jacks it up, fouls it off. Finale of this series and this homestand tomorrow night. Chris Sale against Justin Verlander in that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet if you can't make it to the park. Then after the game, we head on out to Minnesota.
Play the Twins and the Royals and ended up against the hot Angels.
That's low. Ball 4 base hit right here. Get on for Alejandro. Then after that road trip, the final homestand of the season, starting on the 24th. 3 with Cleveland and 4 with Tampa Bay. The payoff pitch. We'll go to the 6th. We trail at 3-1. The screwball taken outside. We had a 1-0 lead after 4. They scored 3 in the top of the 5th, and that's where we stand. One out. Young now 0 for 3. So here's Brennan Bosch. He started off that 3-run 5th with a hard single past Youkilis.
And it was a shame that the first hit of his career against Gavin Floyd was a catalyst that led to his demise in his game. Because Gavin threw the ball exceptionally well.
Well, the more bigger than me was the next hitter when he walked him. Johnny Peralta.
Well, that set up the sacrifice, and Robin chose to play the infield back, which is the wise thing in a 1-run game early. So a little infield ground ball tied it up. But then Gavin's nemesis, Austin Jackson, came through with the go-ahead base hit.
Two and two the count. And a full count. That's the 46th walk here in September, and that leads the American League. So here's Peralta. He walked and scored last inning. Sure will be nice when this streak runs its course, because if it doesn't, we're in trouble.
Well, they all do. It just depends on how much damage is done before it finally goes away.
It's like a virus. That screwball.
Outside for AT&T Uverse Multiview.
One and two.
Tried the screwball low and away. Peralta just looked at it.
And that's out of play. "46 walks here in September, and this is just our 11th game."
Well, if you're putting a whole lot of runs on the board on a daily basis, those kind of walks won't hurt you. But if you're playing a lot of close games, as we have been, they will do you in, and they have been.
Got him.
I think Peralta a little surprised. Our Nissan pitch tracks will probably show you why. Tishner gives him the benefit of the call. And Peralta down looking.
Here's Alex Avila, 0 for 1 with a nice sacrifice bunt. Two and 0.
Now if Santiago stays away with a fastball, that's when you have to watch left center.
He could not pull the trigger.
He got it where he wanted it, but he took it.
Well, that's the residual too of the walk. It's just not the base on balls itself. It's the corner and what you do to the hitter. You make him just much more dangerous and effective. And of course, who you walk, like walking Dirks to get to Cabrera. And that'll retire the side. All right, guys, we need some runs. We trail it 3-1.
Cellular Field with my new friends. Guys, these are pretty sweet seats that you scored here.
Yeah, these are pretty nice. It doesn't get any better than this.
Not a bad view either. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, I kind of wish they would have left Floyd in there a little bit, but we need to score a few more runs.
What do you think? Can they come back?
Sox will definitely come back. Big inning coming up right now.
All right, big inning coming up. Hawk, Stoney, back to you guys.
All right, Susanna, I hope he's right as we got the top of the order. And that pitch is ball one to Alejandro, who has struck out and popped up to center.
Well, Scherzer now over the century mark. And the bullpen up and going for the Tigers.
That's the same pitch that.
Well.
Oh, boy.
Benefit of the call. And it evens at 1.
Uke on deck. Wise in the hole.
Scherzer in his 29th start as Villarreal starts to throw in the bullpen.
That will even the count at 2.
He's got 176 innings so far. Verlander one more start and 210 innings.
There's a chopper, one hopper. One out.
Time now for the Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible replay. And it came in the fourth inning of a scoreless game. Uke got an off-speed pitch, took it out of the ballpark. At that point, it was a 1-0 game, his 17th. We could use another one here.
I don't think you'll get another hanging changeup.
Got a feeling he won't either.
That fastball at 94.
Villarreal has been terrific out of their bullpen. 43 appearances, a 2.06 ERA. That's a man loosening up. In case Scherzer needs some help.
Softly hit down to third. Two out, and it'll bring him Wise. Wayne, a little duck snort single. And a grounder to second. High and wide. Count 2-0. All right, D. Wise, we need to get on for Paulie. Paulie just ripped one down in the left field corner for a hard single. Goes through that one, and the count 2-1.
Figured 112 pitches. This most likely will be the last inning for Scherzer. Last time up, Paulie took one of Scherzer's best fastballs, hit the daylights out of it.
2-2.
Seems like right now he's reaching back, and whatever he's got, he's showing to Wise as if he realizes that this is probably going to be it. That one at 97. And there are the numbers so far. No walks, 6 Ks, 1 earned run in 5 2/3.
Came back and got him. 1-2-3 inning. And we'll go to the 7th, trailing by 2. infallible Packers on Bears Postgame Live, presented by Illinois Back Institute. Watch postgame press conferences, player interviews, and get a full breakdown of the action only on Bears Postgame Live tomorrow after the Bears game on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. We have completed 6 and we trail it 3-1. Infante cannot check it up. He is 0 for 2 with an RBI. One and 2 the count for the 30-year-old Omar Infante.
Outfield straight away, very shallow in right and center.
And there's a base hit. So the leadoff single.
Infante gets a fastball out over the plate. And hits it right between Wise and Rios. Nice job getting to it by Alex and making sure that Infante stays at first.
Now we're going to have some action down in the pen. First pitch strike to Austin Jackson, who is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. He is now 5 for 9 with a homer and 3 RBIs in this series. So again, he just continues to hurt us. Leading RBI man for the Tigers against us this year with 13.
Our Menards pit tracks will show you that this screwball is just off the outside corner. AJ tried to pull it back, but wasn't a strike.
Infante 2 for 4 in stolen bases as Omagroso once again. Turn that one over the screwball. So the count 1 and 2.
Joe McEwing with a nice play in the dugout and then made some friends.
Super Joe.
Good hands. Still has the good hands.
Big pitch coming up to 2-2. Dirks on deck. Cabrera in the hole.
Jackson is so much better from this year over last year that you shudder to think what he's going to look like next year. Hit 249 last season.
And that is slicing. Foul.
This year he's still striking out, but he's making a lot more contact than he made at any time last year.
Once again the 2-2.
Menards pitch tracks will show you this one just up and in. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss. Now we'll see if Infante's running.
And that's foul back.
And the answer was he was running. If you strike him out, AJ's got a good shot at throwing him out because he's making sure that he's not going to get picked off by getting a bit of a late start.
And the payoff. Tags back, throws to first in time. Yes. Rack him up. Good play by Hudson.
Well, just a terrific effort. First of all, it was a tough hop. It's our Home Depot doing more on defense. Jackson can run. He tags the bag, throws from his knees, and gets a very speedy base runner by a step at first. Infante reached out, looked like he was trying to deflect the ball. Terrific play by Hudson.
Yes, it was. Dirks fouls that back. And reminder, our Sox are making a push to play in the postseason. If you don't want to miss any of the action, well, it's playoff payoff time. Purchase tickets for the remaining 2012 games in places, not many of those left, in place of deposit on 2013 season tickets, and you'll guarantee seats for the 2012 postseason. So for more information, call 312-674-1000 or whitesox.com. That was a big walk back in the fifth inning. And that's going foul. Also a reminder, Friday, September 28th at 7:10, we'll have Hispanic Heritage Night and post-game fireworks presented by all the great folks at Miller Lite. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. That's into center field for a base hit. So here comes Robin. Now that play by Hudson looms even larger. He has made the call.
So as Omogrosso comes in and Santiago did a pretty good job, goes out, we'll step out and be back after these messages. pan. And it is a big right-hander, Brian Omogrosso. 3-point ERA, does not have a record, was brought in the first game of the series to face Cabrera. And Cabrera promptly doubled against him. Then Donnie Veal came on and retired fielder. Runner at first and 2 outs in a 3-1 deficit.
Well, Cabrera's faced him twice and has 2 doubles. Want to know the count to Cabrera, who is 2 for 3. That RBI single and a screwball. It was just an experienced RBI guy picking up that ribby with a half swing bouncer to the right side. And that's a base hit off the end of the bat.
And I don't think that Omogrosso is going to be around to face fielder.
Robin apparently waiting to see if
he's got the lefty up in the pen.
Veal is ready.
Well, you saw what Mark Parent did, which was move his hands, look like a quacking motion. He was telling AJ to go out there and talk with him to give Veal a chance to get loose.
And Septimo is up.
Septimo with a chance to get loose.
Well, there's some guys can get loose in a hurry, and it doesn't look like Septimo is one of those guys.
Well, Don Cooper is on the phone, and he better be loose because here comes Robin walking very slowly out to the mound. He'll probably have a bit of a conversation out there to let Layson get a few more pitches and wait until Todd Tishner comes back. Now he points to the pen. So as Omogrosso goes out and Septimo comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages.
Friday home game, one lucky fan will have the chance to win 2 free round-trip tickets to anywhere in the continental United States that United Airlines flies. United, proud to fly our White Sox, and we're proud to be with them. Once again, our congratulations to Mike and Danielle Corrigan. Their baby boy, Carter Michael. Everyone is doing great. New Sox fan just came to us.
It's our Honda call to the pen, and it is Layson Septimo. So Septimo comes on for the 18th time. The ERA a touch over 5, an 0-2 record. And he'll be looking at Prince Fielder, who we hope stays as quiet as he's been for this series.
He's faced Septimo one time and he has a hit.
looked like a pass ball. We'll have to take another look at it. Bob Rosenberg calls it a wild pitch. That was not a wild pitch.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a cross-up.
Bob did change it to a pass ball.
Breaking ball and the count 2-0.
And the bullpen up again, because if Septimo doesn't get Fielder,
Robin's going to get Septimo.
Robin will get Septimo.
This is a huge out right here.
Good breaking ball, well off the plate, but it looked like a strike for a long time. That's why Fielder went after it.
Good block by AJ. But to count 3-1. It is 6-1 Tigers on a hanger. And our bullpen work against, one of the reasons we're 5-11 against these guys, our bullpen work has not been too swift against Detroit.
Oh, and the big man now has 26 home runs, 98 driven in. That a huge hit on a hanging curveball, our Ford home run replay. Fielder gets most of it and takes it out.
And there's a base hit. Six 10-0 for them, 1-4-0 for us. So here's Bosch.
All this coming with 2 outs and nobody on. After a terrific play by Hudson, doubling Jackson. Only to see single, 3-run homer, and a single.
Three in the 5th and 3 so far here in the 7th for Detroit. Yeah, our bullpen has been less than good against the Tigers this year. Well, anything about our starters hadn't been that bad. It's just been when they left. Katie barred the door then.
Well, Floyd went 4 2/3. Was excellent for 4. And a base hit and a walk along with a sacrifice. Started to do him in, and Septimo is having some problems with a moving plate.
things remain like this, if we don't put a finish on, this is going to put tomorrow's game in a little different light. Uke throws him out. But a lot of 2-out damage with nobody on here in the top of the 7th, and we trail it 6-1.
Very talented youngster with great speed. And on the hill, Brian Villarreal, 3-4 ERA, 2.06. 60 strikeouts in 48 innings. He's been one of the big factors in their bullpen. So Scherzer goes 6, leaves 9 outs to cover for that bullpen. Gives up only 1 run, only 4 hits. Fan 7, doesn't walk anybody.
All right, let's go right here, Paulie. Let's pick up a couple, 3 or 4. That 98-mile-an-hour fastball down low. Paulie is 1 for 2. A hard single in the left. There's another hard single in the left. That one at 98. That's the best signs we've got out of this ball game so far. Actually 2. Gavin and now Paulie covering 2 good fastballs.
Menard's pitch tracks will show you a 98er that Paulie just rifles in the left field.
Well, Paulie won't say anything about it, but I'll guarantee that wrist has been bothering him. And now that's an indication it's getting better. So here is Alex. Takes first pitch strike. That one at 97. 30,667. Now they're not going to hold on Paulie. Double-barreled activity for the Tigers down in their pen.
Villarreal spent a great deal of last year at Toledo and AAA. Came up to the Tigers, was 1-1, but his ERA was .675. So things have changed a great deal for him.
Uh-oh. 2 down. Here's AJ. AJ 0 for 2. Last time up, hit the ball hard, but Infante made a nice pick on it. As I mentioned, AJ last night 0 for 4 with 3 bullets right at him. That one at 98.
Villarreal out of La Guera, Venezuela. Signed by the Tigers as a non-drafted free agent back in 2005. They use him as a starting pitcher in the minor leagues primarily. Coming up to the major leagues, he's worked entirely out of the bullpen.
That's out of play. Louis Aparicio's club, La Guardia. They by the airport there in Caracas. One and 2 the count. That one at 98. He's consistent. Got him. And that'll retire the side. We do get a hit to double play the strikeout. We're into the 8th, trailing by 5.
And we've got a new pitcher in this ball game. It is Dylan Axelrod coming into a 6-1 deficit. Dylan at 2-2, on for the 13th time. Well, he's had a couple of big starts for us, and he's thrown the ball exceptionally well in those starts. Now working out of the bullpen and trying to hold this Tiger team right there.
Here's Peralta. First pitch strike. Baltimore has just defeated Tampa Bay 3-2. Walk-off base hit. Nate McLeod scores Manny Machado. So they'll remain tied with the Yankees. If the Yankees can hold on to that 5-3 lead, top of the 9th inning in Boston.
One way or the other, it's going to move Tampa Bay 3 games back.
There's a solid single back to the middle. And that's fair. Right down the line. So now they're going to wave Peralta around, and he's going to score.
Well, that ball got hung up. Normally it kicks off the wall, and it kicked right to Rios, leaving runners at second and third. But when it got hung up in that padding, Avila drives in run number 41 on his first hit of the night, but he did have a big sacrifice back in the 5th. Now he gets a fastball inside and rifles it by Paulie at first. And right here, instead of kicking out, it stays right there, so Rios has to go get it. And Gene Lamont, even though Peralta doesn't have particularly good speed, scores him from first.
So here's Infante. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Short hop. And that's one down. Austin Jackson is 2 for 4. He is 5 for 10 in this series with a homer and 3 RBIs. And stay connected to your Sox all season long. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, pin us on Pinterest, and we blog our unique Tumblr content. Visit whitesox.com/connect.
Jackson's single in the 5th put them ahead, and they've never looked back.
That's the souvenir right side. And once again, a reminder, finale of the series tomorrow. If things remain the same here, that will be for either a tie in the American League Central or the Sox will remain 2 games in front of Detroit. Two and two. And there's our guy.
He's going to have to whip up a gem tomorrow night against Verlander, who last time out, by the way, was handled pretty well by the Angels. So it can be done. It doesn't happen often to him, but it can be done.
Well, they got him early and often. Nice pick. AJ. Full count.
This ball in the dirt. AJ saves a wild pitch.
Seven, 12-0 for their guys, 1-5-0 for us. There's a hanger that's ripped.
Well,
another run.
And Jackson now 4 for 5 lifetime against Axelrod. So he's been no mystery to their catalyst, Austin Jackson. This one just hangs over the middle part of the plate. And Jackson crushes it into the corner. His second run batted in, 57th of the year.
Andy Dirks, 1 for 3 with a run scored. And that hit by Jackson is going to drive a lot of them to the exits.
There'll be a few folks getting to the parking lot early.
That's off. Axelrod for an infield single.
That one couldn't have felt too good. It was a broken bat. And he lined it right off Dillon. Just missed getting the glove down there in time.
So here's Cabrera. He's 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored.
Yep.
Well, everything that's going on right now doesn't really make a big difference when you only got 1 run.
No, this Tiger team has taken advantage of a lot of mistakes the last couple of innings.
But if you're just tuning in, Gavin Floyd making his first start in a couple of weeks, coming off the DL, and he was just awesome through 4. Then in the 5th, a single by Peralta. Then one of the big at bats in that inning was a walk to Avila, then a sacrifice bunt. Infante with a ground out RBI that tied the game at 1. And Jackson with a single to knock in a run, and that's down to you. Up with it. Rack him up, but they put 2 more on the board. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 7. U.S. Cellular Field. You can tune in for all the highlights and analysis from Chuck, Bill, and the Big Herds. Frank Thomas. White Sox postgame live presented by Orland Park Nissan. Immediately following the game on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. And we were talking about our bullpen not doing a good job against the Tigers this year. Our bullpen, and one reason we're probably going to be 6, check that, 5-12 against the Tigers.
Yes.
Our bullpen in 47 2/3 innings against Detroit this year has given up 22 earned runs.
That certainly hasn't been the case against most of the teams that we've played, but the Tigers, for whatever reason, have had the number of a few of our guys coming out of the pen.
Well, that is a lot of runs in 47 2/3 innings. 17 games. Alexei, first ball hunting, pops it up. Avisail Garcia, 21-year-old outfielder. Good looking young player. 6'4", 240. Can run, can throw, and he's going to be a good hitter.
We saw him go from first to third on what appeared to be a play that most guys wouldn't have tried. And he can really fly. He can fly for any size man, but especially for a big man.
How about that throw he made to third base?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Here's Dan Johnson, 1 for 2. Two and 0 the count. And the Yankees have defeated Boston 5-4 to remain in the tie with Baltimore. With Tampa Bay being 3 games back. That'll bring up Hudson. Orlando 0 for 2. Vela wants to have a little chit chat. Yeah, 22 runs in 17 games. Well, that's wow.
Now Jeff Jones comes out. Have a word with Villarreal.
And while he does, you can follow our White Sox with the MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Next time you get a chance, text @BAT to 31826 or visit WhiteSox.com.
Well, as it stands right now, Oakland, who is making a nice run in the West, but probably won't catch Texas, who defeated Cleveland tonight. They're red hot at 81-60. They do have the lead 1-0 over LA, and they've won 5 in a row. So if you figure only one team's coming out of the East, and that's yet to be decided with Tampa Bay 3 games back. But the loser of New York and Baltimore, if Oakland continues to play this way, probably will be the wild card.
and there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks.
And that's going to be it for Villarreal. Bit of a tight zone. There's a couple pitches could have easily been called strikes that weren't. But we'll take it.
So Villarreal departs. Benoit comes on, and we'll be back. Head-to-head in the last meeting of the year between these division rivals. Coverage begins at 6:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Honda City. White Sox Tigers tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, and that might be tomorrow night. Certainly up to this point, the biggest game of the year.
Our Honda call to the pen is Joaquin Benoit. He's their setup man, and you usually don't see him in an 8-1 game. But here he is. On for the 64th time, a 3-3 record, a 3.10 ERA. We did see Benoit in the game last night, and he didn't fare all that well. He gave up 3 hits in 1 inning, gave up a run. Was fortunate to get out of it with just that.
And here's Diaz. Well, the reason you're seeing Benoit in an 8-1 game is that Leland does not want us to have any kind of momentum. He does not want us having a little rally here, scoring some runs, and feeling better about ourselves than we do right now. He knows that tomorrow might be the biggest game of the season, certainly for his club.
No doubt.
He wants to keep us in the same frame of mind we're in. And from a baseball standpoint, he's making exactly the right move.
Assuming that Benoit can throw a little better than he did last night, which was not up to his standards.
We had a big lead on Minnesota a few years ago. And we had them down. And I mean, they were out. We brought in Jose Paniagua. They got right back into that ball game. We finally won the ball game, but they came out the next day and absolutely just kicked our behinds. And we went on. We were leading division at the time. We won and lost the division. And those Twins will tell you that game right there was the defining game, because we let them right back into it and changed the whole mental attitude, the whole perception.
Well, a base hit here would certainly help.
That's why you never want to quit. And when you're down 8-1, you've got to keep going and try to give them a finish. He did not go. So full count. Ball for a base hit. Youkilis on deck. Just got a piece of it.
That was his splitter. And he stays alive to see at least one more.
That's out of play. Alvin Dark, who was a former manager and a good one. That's one thing that he preached to all his players, and that's one thing that Oakland ball club that went on to win 5 consecutive divisional titles and 3 consecutive world championships when they left Kansas City to go to Oakland in '68. If you were trailing 8-1 against a pretty good ball club, bottom of the 8th, bottom 9th, you know how many guys pack it in for that game. You know that.
Well, a lot of them. You see a lot of first pitch swingers.
That's right. Well, that didn't happen with Alvin Dark, and it paid off big time for those Oakland A's when they went out there, because none of those guys would quit in a game that they were down in.
Well, they put together one of the great runs in history for a 5-year period,
and that was one of the reasons why. And there's the base hit. Come on, Dan. Come on. This guy can throw, but he hits the cutoff man, and we do get on the board. Don't stop now, boys. Let's give him a finish.
Well, for a minute there, Hudson wasn't going to third base. He stopped around second. I'm not sure exactly why. RBI number 48 for De Acha, who gets another splitter and takes it into right field. Right there, Hudson stops and then takes off. So it's an 8-2 game with runners at the corners and things still alive.
So Uke, who got us on the board first back in the 4th inning with a homer. He's 1 for 3. That's 17th homer. Made it a 1-0 ball game.
This is more like the Benoit we saw last night when he gave up 3 straight hits, including an RBI single to De Acha.
Hudson still getting on Cabrera. Not a good 2-0 swing.
Yeah, that one was out of the zone. And if you're going to make a swing like that, you might as well take it, because that was not a hittable pitch anyway.
That ball hit deep. Darts back. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. It's an 8-5 ball game. Mercy.
Second home run of the night for Uke. His 18th of the year. It's our fourth home run replay, and Benoit, just like last night, has come in. And he's gotten pasted. 4 runs home in the 8th. And it's become a ball game.
Here's Wise. He's 1 for 3. And bunts it, but it's foul.
And the bullpen up and going. It looks like Valverde, the right-hander. And Leland has a left-hander up in the pen. It's Phil Koch. And the right-hander is Dotel. Dotel and Koch listening in the pen. He rings him up. The appeal to Brian Gorman.
Well, from up here, it did not look like he wins. But down there, let's see if his angle. He did not go.
Now, that was a bad call.
That's a bad call.
And it's a big call.
That's a bad call. Wasn't that close? So here's Paulie. He's 2 for 3. He's covered 2 good fastballs, 1 at 95 and 1 at 98 for hard singles to left field. Takes first pitch strike. The 1-1 pitch. That one at 84 had him way out in front. And he gets him, but we get right back into this thing. We come up with a 4 spot. We'll go to the 9th, trailing by 3.
His ERA .96. On for the 16th time. He has yet to give up a base hit to a left-hander. And it will be Fielder who he'll face. And speaking of Fielder, just as we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's our Miller moment, and it's Cecil Fielder. On April 18th of 1991 at then Comiskey Park, which is now U.S. Cellular Field, he hit the first home run ever in this ballpark, and almost the same exact spot his son Prince hit a 3-run homer tonight in the 7th inning. So that is our Miller moment.
So it's an 8-5 ball game. That ball into center field. Be wise. So that is 21 straight left-handed hitters that Veal has retired.
And that's the only man he's going to face. The 7th pitcher of the night on the way in. And it's Brett Myers. So as Myers comes in and Veal steps out, we'll be back after these messages. Money's worth tonight. It's Brett Myers. He comes into this one 2-3 ERA, a little above 4, on for the 27th time.
Delvin Young takes ball 1. There's the strike. Young, 1 for 4, a single in the 7th. 8-14-0 for them, 5-7-0 for us. There's a high curveball hit hard, but we got a man there. So here's Avisail Garcia. Making his first plate appearance. 5 for 15 since being called up.
I believe he's going to be able to secure himself an everyday spot next year.
Well, if you look at that situation, there's a ground ball right side. He's got such good plate coverage. He's got to be a good hitter. Meanwhile, that's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need 3 to tie. We just got 4 in the 8th.
For the 61st time, 3-2 record. 29 for 33. He takes a lot of time. He has more rituals than an entire cult. But more times than not, he gets the job done. Although most of the time, it's very much of a precarious type save.
The big 4 spot for us. Our guys will not quit. And we get a couple of guys, a couple of bloops and a bang and a blast. Rios to start it off.
We have the ability to do that, as Valverde very rarely has a clean inning.
So here we go. Alex 3 for 12 against Valverde. Make it 4 for 13. More importantly, the leadoff man aboard. Yes.
That is exactly what happened last night. Rios led it off against Valverde in the 9th. Got a base hit. And this one rocketed through the left side.
So here's AJ. He's 0 for 3. He's due. And he's also 4 for 11 against Valverde. There he goes. Takes a double play out. The ground ball double play.
Well, the same thing happened last night. in the exact same situation. AJ coming up. Rios runs because Valverde can't possibly hold anybody on. And AJ hit a rocket up the middle, which Peralta wouldn't have gotten close to if Rios hadn't run. It was just a bad break. Normally it had been runners at first and third, nobody out.
Yeah, AJ had nothing but bad luck last night with those 3 bullets. We can do this, boys. We can do this. That ball hit hard. Austin Jackson back, so Alex will tag. He'll move into third. Another bullet off the bat of AJ. Meanwhile, hang Wolfram, kid.
Valverde throws it on the outer third. And that's the first out of the inning.
So here's one of our best hitters against Valverde. He's 4 for 8. Pick him up, Alexei. Takes ball 1. Hits that ball sharply. And that is out number 2, but Alex scores, and it's an 8-6 ball game. Our bullpen tonight has given up 5 runs. If you're just tuning in, Gavin Floyd, the 2 big positives, actually there's 3 big positives. Gavin Floyd was a definite positive. 4 innings, he was just awesome. Ran into some trouble in the 5th, left. Working 4 2/3. Paulie covering 2 big fastballs tonight. Very strong positive. And our guys don't quit, which that's a given. Another positive.
And Youkilis had been struggling. He came through with a couple of home runs and 4 driven in. Big night. And if Johnson can get on, it'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Dan is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Very generous call right there. Evens accounted 1. And there's a rocket base hit. So now the tying run comes to the plate.
Well, Johnson's going to be taken down for Olmedo. The Zen ball rockets by fielder. Bring the tying run to the plate.
Hudson 3 for 7 with a triple against Valverde. Keep it going, Orlando. Made a good pass at that, just underneath it. Did not check it up. Now we're down to our last bullet. 2 outs, 0-2 the count.
Valverde wanted it, but this pitch was down. Our Menard's pitch tracks will show you it is clearly out of the zone. Alejandro Diaz in the on-deck circle.
And that's flared over our dugout. So 2 out, 1-2. Way outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He almost threw that one to the netting. Avila able to corral it as that splitter just slipped out of the fingers of Valverde.
And this ball game is over. But our Sox gave him a finish. And even though we lost this ball game, we were trailing, if you're just joining us, 8-1 going to the 8th inning. And came back and had the tying run at the plate. So encouragement, very much so, as far as Gavin Ford goes.
There were a few very bright spots. If Gavin comes out of this start and his elbow is feeling good, he'll be a starter the rest of the way. Tough game to lose for our boys, but they were way down in this one, fought their way back into it, maybe paving the way for beating Verlander tomorrow with Chris Sale on the mound, and we hope for a split in the series.
All right, our GMC player of the game is Kevin Youkilis. 2 for 4, 2 homers, Solo shot in the 4th, 3-run blast in the 8th. Our GMC player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Chris Kamka, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor Mean Joe Group, and up here in the booth Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Frank Leone, Doug Buller down in sound. This is the Hawks. So long, everybody. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group.